guys, today I'm starting a new series on my channel which is drugstore investigation. And it's not necessarily drugstore investigation, also like, I don't know, department store investigation. I kind of thought about it while I was at work the other day and I thought, here are so many things I don't know anything about. Brands that I've never heard of before, products that I've never seen before, and also sometimes very unusual products that I wouldn't buy myself because first of all I don't hear anyone talking about those things, and secondly because I don't want to waste my money. I think it's really cool that American YouTubers, like for example Tati, she's doing a lot of those investigations herself, and I was just really inspired because I think that for German stores this doesn't really happen too often because we are pretty much scared of, like I said, wasting our money, buying something that is very bad, a bad product, bad quality, or just overpriced. And even just hidden gems at the drugstore we don't really find too often because we simply just don't try out. But I am really thinking that it's about knowing where to look, because there are a few drugstore gems I found over the years that I really adore and love, and I really want to make this a series on my channel where I buy new stuff, not necessarily just from the drugstore here but also from the department store, and just talk to you about those things, test them out, do a first impression with them, show you how long they last on my skin, what I like about them and what I don't like about them, and whether I would recommend you to buy them or not. So that's my plan. I hope you enjoy my plan because I think it's really exciting. I think, like I said, we don't really have a lot of German YouTubers doing those kinds of investigations, at least that I know of. And since some of those brands are also available to you in the UK and America, I thought that maybe we could all profit from those kinds of videos. So today I'm starting my series with a new foundation and a concealer by Catrice. I know that this brand is also starting to come up in America. For us, this brand isn't new. It has been around for such a long time in our drugstores, partly also in our department stores. However, they have come out with a new foundation which is called the HD Liquid Coverage Foundation, and also a concealer that kind of is meant to fit to this foundation, and this is called the Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. Both of those are meant to look real good on camera and to be really HD and full coverage, but looking really light on the skin and being really kind of your second skin. This really spoke to me since I do not really own a lot of drugstore foundations that I really like, and I'm always drawn to try out new foundations because I think, especially for the price point I got this for, you can't really do anything wrong. And I bought the foundation and you got the concealer for free, so it's kind of a buy one get one free kind of deal. I paid almost €7 for this, which is not a lot. It's kind of a good middle range drugstore foundation price, I would say. However, I'm wearing this now. In my demo, in my first impressions, you will also be able to see how this has applied, what I think about it. Furthermore, in this video I will also show you how this lasts. I will go through my day, and who knows, if this one turns out really well, we all have a new drugstore foundation to love and to swear by. That's kind of what I wanted to go by for this kind of videos. I hope you liked the idea, I really do, and I hope you enjoy the video. So if you're interested in this foundation, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I've already moisturized my skin with the Clinique Dramatically Different moisturizer. I use this basically all the time lately. So there is the same base underneath every foundation that I test and that I wear, so I can really judge the wear time, the finish, etc, etc. So I'm also not going to use a primer or a setting spray because that's also not what I do on a daily basis. Like when I go out, I want my makeup to last, which is why usually I would take either the Infectable Makeup by L'Oreal or the Pro Longwear by MAC, because those are both very long wearing foundations. However, today we're gonna test this guy. It's not even unpacked yet. I don't know why, but this buy one get one free thing always works on me. It never fails. Why is this Why? Okay, let's start with how much you get in this particular bottle. You get 30 mils in here, which is 1.1 fluid ounces. It says it's mattifying and it should have a second skin effect and lasts up to 24 hours, which I don't know how they tested this because no one should really have their makeup on for 24 hours. The back side says, lightweight and non-oily texture that feels like a second skin, provides a long-lasting full coverage without mask effect, and creates an even complexion with high definition finish for camera-ready skin. Okay, that sounds pretty good, sounds promising, especially for fall, like a matte skin. The first thing I noticed right away is that there is not a lot of diversity in the color range. They have 3 shades available at where I bought it. I can imagine that there are more shades to come. I have the color 03 Sand Beige, and I didn't really see a difference from the testers. Like, they were all similar. I have no idea what's up with this. I had the 01, the 02, and the 03, and they all look pretty similar to me. And the concealer you get with this is the 020. Yeah, and that concealer says liquid camouflage high coverage concealer, and it's meant to be waterproof. Liquid high coverage and ultra long lasting concealer, perfectly camouflaged under eye circles, spots and even tattoos. Apply in small dabs and let dry well. Apply extra layers if needed. Waterproof. Okay, so as you can see, when I open the sucker up, it's like a pipette. I'm gonna shake this guy up. Seems to be very liquidous. That's terrifying, actually. And just put some on the back of my hand. I will use my beauty blender on one side and my brush on the other. Also, I did use a completely clean beauty blender and a completely clean brush, so nothing's affecting my foundation game. And I'm just applying this with my fingers first. I have blackheads. I have some small blemishes, nothing too crazy though. And I also have some dry textured skin. First of all, like, my skin type leans more towards the dry side, but I also sometimes get oily just on the top of my nose and really oily in between my brows. Like, that's just my horror, really. It gets a little bit blotchy, like, back here, and I do not have a crazy amount of hair there. Now we do the other side with the beauty blender. I really think the beauty blender wins on this one. It kind of packs more coverage. Let me just zoom you guys in so you can get a really interesting close-up. And that is the brush side. I mean, I have to admit I have some blemishes over here, and it's settling in just a tiny bit. Not too bad if you ask me. Otherwise it looks pretty natural, but it hasn't quite covered around here. But some spots like this I also have on my other side, and it's covered them right here. So that's my quick thought on this one. Let's try the concealer. Okay, so for how much you get in the concealer, it's 5 mils and 1.6 fluid ounces. Let's see if it really covers. And something really does smell odd. I didn't notice the smell with the foundation. Oh, the concealer, however, has a very strong scent. I don't even know what it smells like. Kind of fruity, flowery, but very chemical and very strong. If you're sensitive to smells, like, this is strong. I don't know if you would appreciate that. Coverage is pretty impressive though. And it looks really natural. Also, it doesn't crease. It's really good so far. I feel like it really has a tendency to kind of wanna bunch up on the skin when you go in with a second layer. But since I did use the Beauty Blender, it pretty much did soak up all the excess product. And here you can see my blemishes. They are still there. Oh, this one I forgot. They are still there, but they're definitely not as obvious as they were. And definitely not as obvious as I thought they're gonna be. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with my usual MAC Studio Finish concealer and cover some on my forehead, because I want to see how other concealers last on this foundation. When I did that, I will finish my makeup and I will be right back. Hey guys, this is my check-in to, like, my first check-in for the foundation. I've finished my makeup, and the liner was such a struggle today. But if you want to know why, you can watch my other video testing out the NYX liquid liner. Powders and stuff always applied really well on top of the foundation. I only powdered under my eyes and the T-zone. Nothing else, because I feel like powdering too much, it would just make my face feel very dry and cakey. The finish is very dry. It hasn't got a natural glow to it. It's just really matte. I'm about to head to work, and then when I'm back, which will be much later to now, it's now 11:30, and when I will be back, it will be 9 p.m. Concealer performs pretty nice as well. The only issue I have to now is that it feels a little bit drying, but I can get away with it, I think. And yeah, I will see you all way later now here to show you how the foundation and the concealer has held up. Looking at myself really up close in the mirror, I can kind of tell that the foundation has worn down quite a bit around my mouth area. On my forehead I can see, as well as on my cheeks, I can see quite some shine, but nothing major. Seeing the fact that I haven't touched up once today, pretty good. The concealer is still intact. On this side where I have the blemishes, it's pretty much gone, but that's also because I have a lot of oil production there. Like underneath my eyes, nothing has moved, nothing has changed, and I think that's amazing. The eyeliner, still not the biggest fan of how the shape turned out. I think it looked good with the look that I went for, but it's nothing that I would use again. The liner too has smudged a little bit in the inner corner. This eye is still pretty good, the one you see right now. But this one, you can see it's pretty blotchy at the inner corner. It hasn't smudged in the rain, which is good. Here I have a close-up of my cheek. You can see it's just a little bit blotchy. I have some areas where the foundation is still on, but mainly, like, most of it is gone. But as you can see, the concealer hasn't creased a bit. It's still there, still going strong. But when we look at this side, my blemishes are peeking through. Also, they've gotten worse during the day. Also, my lip right around here is always pretty, pretty red and stuff. So, but that's normal. That happens with every foundation, every concealer that I use. And my forehead, other than it's pretty shiny, still looks quite good. All in all, I have to say I'm pretty impressed with this foundation, simply because I paid like €7 for concealer and the foundation. Now it lasted me over 10 hours, way over 10 hours. Because when I put this on, it was 11 o'clock or 11:30. Now it's almost 11 o'clock at night. Almost 12 hours of wear. That really impresses me. During the day I was noticing that my foundation was breaking up, like around here, but those are just areas where I usually get oily. Using a primer there really would help to kind of keep the foundation from breaking up there, or just touching up with powder or using some blotting papers. You could easily get away with making this foundation last even longer. Would I switch it out for any of my other long wear foundations? I have to say I like it as much as I do like the Infallible makeup by L'Oreal. However, this one is like €4 more expensive than the foundation that I've tried today. I still do not like it as much as the Pro Longwear. I think none of the other longwear makeups in the drugstore are really comparable to that because of the price point. But, you know, it's a good foundation. I can't really say anything bad about it. I like the way it applied. I like the way it covered. If you have really problematic skin with lots of things to cover, you probably won't like it as much. However, I do not have that many blemishes, so I think everything's alright with this foundation. You can just try it out and see for yourself, but I have a very, very positive picture. So out of 5 stars, foundation gets like 3.5 and the concealer gets 5 stars, definitely. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of videos, and if you did, then hopefully you subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for all the next videos to come. I hope you have an awesome day, week, wherever you guys are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!